actors have a chance to talk about themselves and their careers. Join us now for the next hour as we explore the marvelous industry of acting through actors and actresses from today's exciting show business world. And now, here's your host, Ron Brewington.
Hi, everybody. I'm Ron Brewington, and welcome to the Actor's Choice. Our guests today are very special. They're a set of twins who have been a part of the theatrical world for a number of years. These beautiful ladies have written, produced, acted, and directed. When you look at and hear their resume, it'll blow your mind. They are, please welcome, actress and writer and director Yvonne Farrow.
Hi.
And next there is Yvette Heylinger, writer, director, and producer.
Hi.
Welcome, ladies. Welcome.
Thank you for having us.
Oh, listen to that. Twin power, that's what that is, ladies and gentlemen. Yvonne, let's start with you. Please tell us where you ladies are from and where you grew up at.
We're from Washington, D.C.
The nation's capital.
That's right. We had a fantastic childhood. We went to the museums, the ballet, the opera, wonderfully cultured growing up. Our mother worked in the government. She worked for a mayor. She worked for a council member. Mm-hmm. Our father was a band leader, our stepfather. He had a trio, so we were very much immersed in the cultural scene of Washington, D.C.
Mm-hmm. Does that include eating the crabs?
Yes, eating those crabs. And we went to the high school for the arts.
Yes.
Duke Ellington School for the Arts.
Yeah, yeah.
Which was a choice school as then and now.
Yeah, we were the first to enter the school.
Okay.
The first year it became Duke Ellington.
When you say first, is that first blacks?
No, the first year it was an art school.
Okay.
It had turned from Western to an art school, and we were the first graduating class.
Okay.
So, yeah.
What influenced you to become an actress?
Well, actually, I started in the business as a dancer.
Okay.
I wanted to dance, and I came to New York to dance, and after years of working, I was in Dance Theater Harlem as an apprentice. I went through the Alvin Ailey Scholarship Program. I was in the Third Company. I worked with Alvin on Memoria when he did when he first set Memoria on his 3 companies. I had injured both of my legs, okay. And it just came to a time that I couldn't dance any longer. And so I retooled myself as an actress. Yvette had actually been acting then. And so I asked her, what should I study? And she said, Meisner technique. So when I moved to L.A. and married my husband, Larry, I studied the Meisner technique and started doing commercials and television and film and started.
Meisner, not Shakespeare, not them other 6 others. It's a total of 8 different styles, something like that?
Oh, yeah, there are a lot of acting techniques.
I preferred the Meisner technique. I was at New York University in their School Without Walls program, and we could take classes in our major outside of NYU. So I chose Bill Esper, who taught the Sanford Meisner technique. Yeah. But Yvonne got to meet Sanford Meisner.
I did. I got to work with him. I was summer intensive with Meisner.
And that's New York. New York is like that. I mean, Broadway is in New York. And you meet some wonderful people up there. I was born and raised up there, but that's not, I'm not putting a plug in there for New York. But what was your first acting break?
Let's see. What was my first acting break? Well, Yvette and I had done a lot of commercials in New York as twins.
Okay.
We were the first Scott Towel twins.
Did the Scott Towels.
So that would be our first acting break, wouldn't you? And then I did a couple of movies in New York. Those were my early breaks. But when I came to Los Angeles, I got an agent, and I don't know what my first show was. I've done so many. I don't know what the first one was here.
Gregory Hines.
Gregory Hines came later, but there were several shows before that.
You did Moonlighting in 1988. But you also did Chorus Line, too.
As a dancer in New York. I was one of the millions of dancers in that movie.
And then as you started to get into the dance itself in the industry, I can see you did a number of numerous recurring roles on shows like Moonlighting, Get Smart Again, Amen, Gabriel's Fire, Columbo. What was it like, having to go around, go through the whole process of having a manager, having an agent, and of course the auditions?
Well, at that time, it was very exciting for me because I was starting new.
Okay.
I was starting fresh in a new city. And so I was training and doing plays, and going in for the audition process was not as frightening because we had been doing this all our lives.
I see.
But there's a whole level of stress associated with just going in front of producers and writers and directors to get a part.
Yes.
I noticed over the years there were many African American women. We were all looking at each other in the room for many projects. They should just pick one of us. All of us get, we get called in a lot for the same roles. But it was great. It was exciting.
Because a lot of people have problems preparing for an audition.
Yeah.
How do you prepare for it?
Well, I take the script. If we're lucky, we get the whole script. We can read the whole thing. And a lot of times now they just give you pages.
Right.
But I take the script, and then I take my sides, or my part, whatever I'm auditioning with, and I break it down into beats.
Okay.
And if I have some backstory on the character, I make sure I'm reading it over and over, understanding my history with the piece, with the character. And then to memorize, I write the lines in longhand.
Okay.
So I sit and write. So I'll look at my script, and then I'll write what I think my line is, and then got that one, and then go to the next one, and that's how I memorize.
Great technique.
And then, of course, when you go in the audition, you want to hold the script. You don't want to put it down, because then they're going to expect a performance.
Right.
And if you get lost or you're nervous, you want to be able to refer to the page and refer to the line, because nothing upsets, and a lot of times the writers are in the session because they are also the producers,
Right.
than to misread or miss what they've written.
Right. So don't add anything. Don't take anything out
No,
of the script.
they don't really like that.
Don't like
They
that.
want to hear what they've written,
on the
unless
page.
they ask you to
Ad-lib.
ad-lib. But generally, they want you to read what's on the page.
What's
So
on the
it's safer to hold your sides, and there's a technique where you look at. You're up for your line, you're down to the page for the next line, you're up. So you always want to make contact. So, yeah.
Interesting. I know in broadcasting there's camera panic, there's mic fright, but in acting, what kind of fears are there?
Well, you've got a whole crew. Everybody wants to get off at a certain time, or they want to make their lunch, and they don't need an actor coming in, especially if you're a guest, that's going to hang up the production in any way.
Okay.
So you want to come ready. I mean, I always came ready to go. Whatever you did in the audition, they tend to like that when you're shooting it,
Okay.
when you're in the shot, unless they ask you to do something else. But you want to be ready. You don't want to hang. I was very good at getting people out earlier on time.
Okay.
When I was working, whatever I was asked to do on camera.
Can I ask a dumb question? Since you
Yeah.
ladies are twins, did Yvette ever come to some of your auditions? Did you ever have a fill-in for you?
Oh, I did a movie called Off.
Oh, yeah.
And so I was dancing at the time, so I had a show in upstate New York, and so Yvette came in at the end
I see.
because I couldn't finish the movie, so
I stood in.
she stood in for me.
It's great when you have somebody who looks just like you, sounds
Yeah.
like you. Oh, God.
Yeah,
I'm a twin myself, by the way, so the audience didn't know that. You guys know that. But
Yeah.
But
He's a twin.
we were both in different branches of the service. He was in the Marine Corps, I was in the Navy, and one time we thought about changing our uniforms. I better not do that. That's you get a lot of trouble for it. Don't do that. But standing in front of, as an actress, standing in front of a live audience, I mean, people are down there looking at you and paid their money. They're expecting a good performance.
Right.
And if you don't give it to them, they're going to start booing and acting crazy and all that good stuff.
Yeah, that's true. Especially our people. Boy, they'll let you know. They let you know.
Oh, yes.
Woo-hoo, they let you know.
Yes.
Well, that has its own pressure, but I love live theater. Yvette is a writer, a playwright. I know you're going to talk about that soon, but I've done a number of her plays, and they are thought-provoking. They're usually around some social justice issue, but they are funny. And so we get a lot of talking back, particularly with her show, What Would Jesus Do? We have to stop because the audience is going crazy. Or, if there's particular tension between the actors when we did Homegirl here, which was the first play we produced together. It was so controversial at the time we did it. I mean, the audience would just scream and holler, and it was very exciting. So, you have to hold.
Yes.
Hold and let them have their moment.
Right.
And then get back into it. But there's nothing like the live experience.
Right. There's no take two.
No, there's no take two. And, you feel like you're flying.
Yes, you do.
You just feel like you're just...
It's interesting because a lot of times on this show and in other experiences that I've had, I've always asked actresses, do you think that you should get on the stage and get some time on the stage? Why make it just film and television only? Because it's good training on that stage.
Oh, you have to. You have to
yes.
do theater. That was something when I came from New York. Yvette was auditioning people for her shows here. a lot of them had never done theater. I mean, they could only hit their mark, because they put marks for you when you're shooting a television show. They no sense of their body or what they were, how to be in their skin in the front of a live situation. That was right. You remember that?
It's a whole other skill being on the stage. The character has to follow a dramatic arc from the beginning to the end.
Right.
And you have to be able to sustain a performance, understand where you're going, and in a sense hit those marks, but throughout an entire theatrical performance. Wow. And you don't get to stop. You don't get to do another take. You just have to keep going.
It takes stamina.
Yeah.
I know that Los Angeles producers really respect New York actors because they have that ability and they've done a lot of plays. And
now here in Los Angeles there's a lot more theater.
Yes. Yes, it is.
Yeah.
And in New York you have TV and film actors coming and doing plays now.
Right.
Oh, well, that's been for a while, but
and you're getting a lot of British actors too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're coming. They did the BAFTA last night. It was interesting to see who the winners were. Which brings me to my next question, and that is, how do you feel about the diversity issue that's going on right now?
Well, when I haven't been performing so much in the last 2 or 3 years.
Okay.
But when I was really working a lot in LA, there were not that many roles for African Americans, and like none for African American women. I mean, it was just so small. We had so few opportunities. I was reading for white characters a lot. And my agent would send me up because, that it was just so little. Now on television, it's like looking at the rainbow. It's beautiful. And with so many jobs, I was like, oh, wow, look at all those jobs. But I think in terms of the Oscars and that kind of thing, it's very disappointing where we are with that, because I think, I hate to say this, but a lot of people just want to sing and dance and shooting hoops. But to see that we can act and bring quality material to the theater that's box office,
box office hits?
That are box office hits. I mean, why aren't we getting those Oscar nominations? Why aren't we being, it's an interesting dilemma, and I think they really need to shake up that membership and get a diverse group so that everyone can have the opportunity. I mean, not just African Americans, but Asians and Latinos and just everyone.
Yes.
It should be more inclusive. This is 2016.
In America.
That's right. It shouldn't be so closed.
Right. Because when you see the Screen Actors Guild Awards, they give it to everybody.
Yeah, because we vote.
Exactly.
The membership votes. So you see the diversity. So, it's a better, more even playing field.
More even playing field. I see. But you've seen a lot of changes in this business, too. There are things that now with the technology, now women are made to do things like a woman kiss another woman, a man kiss another man.
Yeah.
There are things now that you're doing now that you didn't have to do. You didn't do those things back in the day.
A lot of soft porn going on.
We'll talk about something that you want me to read in a little bit. I can't wait.
Right.
But it's just that the business itself has changed so much.
It has.
It's a new generation.
What's being accepted now is so on the edge, even with the violence.
Yes.
My husband and I are watching TV, and I go, ooh.
You cringe.
I cringe it because it's so
violent.
Yes.
These kids they look at the media as their model.
Yeah.
And they see people killing each other. The video games, they see that. You can shoot somebody and they'll get them, walk away, and that's what they do.
It's desensitizing our children.
Right. And you ladies are both teachers. What kind of students are you getting that you see now?
Oh, I just started teaching in the the Chancellor and our mayor would like to bring the arts back to New York City public schools. Okay. They've been absent for more than a decade. So I'm part of a new wave of artists that's coming in and being certified to teach in New York City public schools.
Okay.
And so it's a great opportunity to be able to share the arts, because President Obama has talked a lot about the jobs of the future, and being ready to do those jobs means you have to think creatively, think outside of the box, do creative problem solving, and the arts really addresses all those parts of the brain and of ourselves that allow us to be more creative. So I think we're trying to break out of the mold of just taking the test answering the questions of the test, passing the standardized test, and sort of bringing that the benefit of the arts back to our schools. So I'm proud to be a part of that.
How about money? Funny, because every time there's a cut in funds, the first thing that goes is the arts money.
That's the first thing that goes, but Mayor de Blasio has put a lot of money into bringing the arts back, and that's how I'm able to be there. I was selected to be a Lincoln Center Scholar,
Okay.
and I'm at Hunter College getting a fast-track certification.
Excellent.
And shout out to all my fellow theater cohorts. So it's an exciting time, and it's a challenging time because the children have not had the arts in so long.
Yes.
So we're trying to cultivate and nurture what feels like a brand new thing for them.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I should mention, you and I know this, but our audience doesn't know that you live in New York and you live here in Los Angeles.
Right.
I came for my birthday. I finally got here, 24 hours later, but that's another story. So it's nice that you have us on your show.
Absolutely. I mean, she told me, thank you. I'm just a facilitator. You ladies make the show. When you go to, I'm from New York also, and I was born and raised in Harlem. So I remember
where I
Harlem
live.
Hospital. What part of Harlem do you live in?
I'm on 116th and Lenox.
Hey, I know where that's at.
Yeah.
St. Thomas the Apostle School is right close to there.
Yeah,
Yes.
I'm across from Canaan Baptist Church, and then the mosque on the corner there was
Yes.
where Malcolm preached.
Right.
So,
They changed the names of the streets. It was 8th Avenue, 7th Avenue, 6th Avenue. Now they got other different names.
Adam Clayton Powell Jr. Boulevard and Malcolm X Boulevard. So, yeah.
But it's still New York
Frederick
City.
Douglass Boulevard, yeah.
The city's so nice, they named it twice.
Yeah.
The city's so pretty, they call it New York City. But it's just cold back there. That's a four-letter word. It's cold back there.
And Harlem's changing a lot.
Oh, yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
we've had it's becoming more gentrified
Yes.
and more diverse in that sense. We have a big African population as well.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Big African. Okay.
Yeah, we do.
Because I know we had Michael Ajakwe Jr. come in a few weeks ago, and he's African. And he was telling us about the fact that in Nigeria, a lot of people are getting involved in the theaters now and in movies and whatnot. They're trying to make some money.
It's good.
They're trying to make some money. By the way, if you want to talk to the ladies, we have 323-965-1600. That's 323-965-1600 if you call in. The other question that really got me going is you have so many talents, Yvonne. You have so many talents. You're a dancer. You're a model. You're a motivational speaker. You're a twin. And by the way, on a twin, I hate to come back to that subject again, but when you're a twin, do people ask you crazy questions about being a twin?
Not so much anymore. When we were
Like
younger.
if I hit you, will your sister feel it? And they would ask
When
me
she
that.
had her first baby, I felt it. I knew she was going into labor.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
There's a psychic connection.
Yes, there is a psychic
There
connection.
is.
Twins are very, very
You
special.
have that too, right?
Yes,
Your
I do.
brother?
My twin brother, he lives in Vegas, and we talk to each other at least once a day.
Yeah, we do the
We
same.
might not agree on everything, but at least
Yeah.
there's a special bond there between twins. We have a great feel for each other. What advice would you give someone who is trying to get into the acting field? There's a lot of
Training.
Okay.
If you have nothing on your resume, you need to show that you have strong training
Okay.
and theater.
Okay.
Until you get those opportunities to be in front of the camera.
Right.
And now if you don't have an agent, there's so many avenues you can take. If you don't have an agent, to submit yourself.
Gotcha.
So you might want to do that.
I think with the advent of reality TV, acting seems like it's something that's so easy to do.
Yes.
And it's sort of been, I think we've lost a lot of the respect for the craft of acting because of the onset of reality television. But I tell my students, just like athletes have to do drills and practices, you got to do your vocal exercises, you got to do your physical exercises, you got to exercise your memory so that you can remember your lines. You have to be physically fit and all of these things. So there's a tremendous amount of discipline that goes into it, which I think surprises people. And I think it surprised my students because you do have to work at it.
Yes.
It is a time-honored craft.
And also,
Practice it,
if you have really studied and you have something that's holding you up, you're on stage and for some reason the person forgot their lines or maybe you went up or something, you are standing on the foundation of something to get you back to the place where you need to be.
Gotcha.
To pick up. You're not going to fall from the tree when you have
You're standing
good
on a foundation.
Foundation. Okay.
Yeah.
It's interesting because there's a lot of different guilds, like you belong to a bunch of guilds and SAG and whatnot, and a lot of people come into this town what we call illusions of grandeur. They want to be they want to be a star. That's what it's all about. But they have to understand there are going to be times where you're going to be turned down. It's going to crush your ego. You're going to have a director who's going to stay on top of you forever and ever, and you must be able to take constructive criticism. I mean, please tell me.
Well, Yvette and I have really worked at defining what is success to us. If you feel that if you're not a success because you're not a star, then you're going to have a long, hard road. Because this is a very difficult business, and not everyone makes it. But to be a working actor is something to be proud of. You know what I mean? Just to be working, if it's a play or a commercial or whatever, just to be working is something to be proud of. No, you're not a star, but you are a working actor. And that has a lot of weight, and it's something to be proud of. Also, Yvette and I decided not to just wait for someone to hand us. Yvette, talk about self-producing.
Yes.
When I was graduating from New York University, I figured out pretty early on that I was going to have to start we'd have to start our own production company.
Gotcha.
And so I had discovered I had a talent for playwriting and decided to pursue it. And so we started our own business, Twin Biz, and I got a doing business as in New York City. She filed one here in Los Angeles. And it was very necessary because at the time I didn't realize it that women get maybe 17% of production opportunities in New York City. At very, very low. I'm talking about women playwrights, directors, designers. We get very few opportunities. And I thought it was cute to start my own company, but the reality was that I had to do it in order to get my work up, to get my work seen, to grow as a playwright. You know, the days when, as playwrights, when you would have theaters that would take you under their wing and nurture you and produce your plays and all that, that was over. And the few black theater companies that were left, when I graduated from school, they had their own interests, and they couldn't produce every black playwright. So
we started self-producing.
So self-producing was a necessity. But I didn't realize how much of a necessity it was till much later. But being a producing artist is very empowering. You know, you're in control of the product. You're in control of the marketing. You know, you're casting, you're directing, all those things, and it's such a joy. It's work, it's hard work, but it's such a joy. And I think that now the market has opened up. They call it independent theater, the indie theater in New York. There's a lot of festivals and things that you can enter, and you can get your work published, and different honors and rewards and recognition that the festivals give you. So you're building your career and your resume, and you're getting honors and recognition along the way.
And from self-producing and starting Twin Biz, I learned that I love to produce. I love it. Now, Yvette and I have had to wear a lot of hats. You know, she puts on the playwright hat, and she takes that off. And then she puts on the director hat, take that off. But, you know, then you wear the producer hat. You take that off. Now you wear the actor hat. You know, you have to be disciplined and organized. And you have to have a plan.
Got to have a plan, right.
I mean, you know.
But it also shows me your strength. When you say 17% of female playwrights get no, that's all that there is.
And for women of color, it's been less than half of that. You know, even as low as 1%. And so women are still fighting for a seat at the table. You know, fighting for an opportunity. Luckily, thank God, there have been so many great things that have happened in the theater for women. We have the Lilly Awards and the Kilroys and all these great articles that are being written that are calling attention to the issue. You know, but I would personally like to see government funding be equitably distributed between men and women artists, so that, I mean, we have an opportunity to have a bigger piece of the pie. In other words, what I'm saying is our tax dollars are being given to arts organizations, and those arts organizations are taking on the playwrights and the plays that they want to do. I just would like to see more equitable distribution of public monies. So that I'm not talking about private commercial producers. You produce whatever you want to produce. I'm not hating. I'm just saying the government money should be more equitably distributed.
And have you approached politicians and spoken to a congressman or something?
Oh, I wrote to Michelle Obama about it.
Oh, and what did she say?
Oh, I got an invitation to the White House.
Go ahead, girl. Go ahead.
I did. I basically told her that what I had hoped was that we could have a summit for women theater artists or women artists across the board, music, dance, visual arts, that we would have a summit and talk about how to attack this problem. And I told her that Eleanor Roosevelt, when she was in the White House and the men had gone off to war, she had all the women reporters come to the White House to do all the reporting. If you want to learn about what me and my husband are doing and what we care about, you send a woman. Wow. And when the men came back, of course, they wanted their jobs back. And she was like, oh, no. You want to know what we're doing, send a woman. And so in that way, the women became an integral part of the press corps of the White House. Yeah. And so I was saying in the spirit of that, Michelle, Mrs. Obama, that we do something for women in the arts.
It should be done, yes, indeed.
I appreciated the invitation to the White House Christmas party that year that I was sent. And when I met her, I shook her hand, and she was like, I said, I'm Yvette Heylinger. She was like, I know who you are. And I was like, she knows who I am. Like, who am I? What? And then I remembered about all the letters that I'd written, inviting her to my place, because they love the arts. Right. I think their first date was to a museum. Right. And wow, Barack, a museum? Hey.
Yes, look at him now, the President of the United States.
Oh,
2 terms. Right?
Yeah.
2 terms, yes.
So
let's take a look at one of the projects that both you ladies did. It's called What Would Jesus Do?
Leather, yellow leather, red leather, yellow leather, red leather, yellow leather. Betty Botter bought a bit of butter, but said she, this butter's bitter. But a bit of bitter butter will make my bitter batter better. Betty Botter bought a bit of butter, but said she, this butter's bitter. But a bit of bitter butter will make my bitter batter better. Mares eat oats and does eat oats and little lambs eat ivy. Mares eat oats and does eat oats and little lambs eat ivy.
Okay, who are you and what are you doing?
Oh, hi, I'm Yvonne. Oh.
No, I don't want to do it this way. I'm going to write to
Okay. Hi, I'm Yvonne Farrow, and I play Leonta Wilson in this New York production of What Would Jesus Do?
What do you think about the play? How amazing is it?
Oh, it's amazing. It's been an amazing journey, just all the way since the beginning, since 2003 or so when Yvette wrote it. This is our 4th production of it, me and Yvette doing it, but 2 have taken place in other cities. And it's just an honor and a pleasure, and I'm just happy that I'm able to be the voice of my sister, my twin, who started as an actress, actually, and I started as a dancer, so it's just an honor. And to serve the community through this message of HIV prevention, Yvette's an activist. And she's an activist and a playwright. So she writes about things that are deep and meaningful and that are going to change lives. And they're not always commercial, but what?
Okay.
Oh, that was marvelous. You said quite a lot of things in there. Marvelous. Oh, marvelous.
That was backstage at the theater at the Billie Holiday. Yeah, we had a run of What Would Jesus Do there. Very special.
Nice title you got there. Now, you got a current play right now. What would Jesus do? But you got a current play right now. Can you tell us what that play is coming out?
Oh, you mean that I'm performing in a festival? Mm-hmm. Oh, I'm going to be performing in the Reproductive Freedom Festival in New York City. And it's exciting because they're using media to share the message of the Reproductive Festival with the audience. It's an event presenting the works of 24 writers from across the country, including my own piece called On the Brink of Middle Age.
All right.
And it's going to be shot live in New York City and then live streamed. And people can call in and interact and tweet with the actors and respond to what they're seeing, so you all can see it here in Los Angeles.
Okay.
It's going to be on March 20th, 3 o'clock, 6 o'clock here. And the website is reproductivefreedomfestival.org.
Wow.
And I'll be reading my piece On the Brink of MiddleAge.
Now, I understand one of you ladies are going to help. I'm going to do the opening, and you're going to read something about a new play you've got?
Oh, this is my play called, I'll let you say what it's called.
Okay. The name of this play, believe it or not, is called I Think I Would Remember If I Had Sex with Denzel Washington. Yeah. A short subject version by Yvette Heylinger. Setting, stage door of the Court Theater, New York City, June 2010. Nighttime, street noises. At Rise, in their early 50s, attractively nice-dressed African-American twin sisters, Bernadine and Bernadette, who have just seen Fences by August Wilson on Broadway. They each hold a playbill.
Goodbye. Nice to meet you. No, we're going to wait.
Bye now. Have a good rest of your evening. Come on, let's go.
You've been saying let's go for the past 20 minutes.
I don't want to see him.
You said you did.
I changed my mind.
Look, I left my husband at home, put on a girdle, my best padded bra, high heels.
I told you we shouldn't have dressed up. No one goes to the theater dressed up anymore. We look like a couple of tourists.
And coughed up a lot of money for an aisle seat in the orchestra.
That was your idea. Me and my wallet would have been happy with a seat in the mezzanine. Whatever happened to the $100 cap that Broadway theater tickets used to have?
I told you, if you buy an aisle seat, they make you buy the seat next to it. Now, I think you'd be happy we were so close to the stage. You're the one who needs glasses. Who in their right mind uses binoculars in the orchestra?
Well, who in their right mind wears high heels after knee surgery? You should have brought the cane.
I told you. I don't need a cane. People get up and walk after these surgeries now, like new.
Not in heels, they don't. Come on, put your hand on my shoulder. Let's go.
We're not leaving here until I get my money's worth, Bernadette. Some FaceTime with the star and an autograph I can sell on eBay.
You got your money's worth, Bernadine. Both Denzel and Viola gave Tony Award-winning performances. Now, come on, let's go. Please. Look, I'm starting to have second thoughts about seeing him, okay?
Why?
I mean, about him seeing me. Okay?
Why?
I'm older.
He's older.
I'm heavier.
He's heavier.
I'm about to be a grandmother.
Well, you got me there. I don't know if he's got grandkids, but I heard his youngest just entered college.
What if he brings it up?
Brings what up?
The thing.
Which thing?
The soup thing.
So you gave Denzel Washington diarrhea?
God.
So what? It was before he was Denzel Washington.
He was a rising star, destined for fame and fortune, and I gave him diarrhea.
I told you not to put so much garlic in there. What was it, like 10 or 12 cloves?
Are you sure it was the black beans? I mean, maybe it was the...
That's what Pickens told me.
Pickens? What did he say exactly?
Well, Pickens told me that Denzel told him that them twins gave him diarrhea. Now, mind you, I had nothing to do with it. You were the one who cooked.
Black beans, brown rice salad, and corny bread.
The man came, the man ate, the man sat on our couch and put up his feet. We had him all to ourselves, and you sent him home.
I had to get up early the next morning.
All the way to Mount Vernon.
Well, that's where he lived.
I'm sure he would have appreciated spending the night. Bernadette, the man is fine.
Yeah, so?
So, were you married?
No.
Was he married?
No.
Was I married?
No.
Well, you see where I'm going with this.
No. Where is he? The show let out 40 minutes ago. God, my feet hurt.
Don't you dare change your shoes. Now, he might come any minute.
He's married to a black woman, Bernadine. I'm sure he'll understand.
Look, Bernadette, we have waited all this time. We may as well wait a little longer. Now, I want to ask Denzel a question.
A question? What question, Bernadine?
How come you ain't never liked me?
How come you ain't never liked me? Now, see, August Wilson is turning over in his grave right now. You stealing a line from Fences.
Well, I want to know how come. I mean, I was cuter than you back then. I was athletic. I was a dancer. But Denzel liked you.
Gone. You think so?
Well, I don't understand it myself, but yes, I think so. But of course, you blew it, Bernadette. You and your naivete. The man was in our home for dinner and dessert.
There was no dessert.
We were dessert, Bernadette. 2 of us cream-filled Twinkies. It was training day with a man on fire, looking to have a deja vu as the inside man in our Denzel twin Twinkie sandwich.
Like I'd have sex with anyone with you in the bed.
Having a menage a trois with dem twins was a fantasy of a lot of men back then.
It was not.
It was. Think about it. Roger, Lee, Dante, all fantasize about us.
Talk about fantasy. People thinking that I slept with Denzel was a fantasy.
Wait, did you, Bernadette? And you didn't tell me your sister and closest confidant?
I don't kiss and tell.
Tell what? He wasn't even Denzel yet.
It doesn't matter, movie star or moving man. I don't kiss and tell.
To me, you do.
Well, maybe, just maybe I wanted to keep something to myself for once, Bernadine. A memory, a secret, something that's mine, alone, just for me.
You mean to tell me you had sex with Denzel and kept it from me all these years?
Just because we're twins doesn't mean I have to share everything.
Who are you? I don't even know who you are.
Okay, calm down. Calm down. I didn't. Really, I didn't. I didn't.
I knew it was a lame excuse. You sending me to the store for what, toilet paper?
We ran out.
And now we know why.
Oh, God, the diarrhea. Seriously. You're angry.
Glad to know where I stand, sister.
This is ridiculous. I did not sleep with him. I was just playing with you. Bernadine, look into my eyes. I think I'd remember if I had sex with Denzel Washington. Cut.
Marvelous, marvelous. The talent that you ladies have. Oh, my goodness. I mean, those are just words on a piece of paper, but you make them come alive. Where do you get those ideas from?
Well, I did give Denzel diarrhea.
Really?
I was an usher at, you heard it first here on Ron Brewington's show. No, I was in the theater world, in the black theater world back then. I was working at the Negro Ensemble Company, and Denzel was doing a soldier's play. And we were friendly. Sam Jackson, Jim Pickens, a lot of folks were in that.
Adolph Caesar.
They were in that show.
A lot of great.
Yes.
And Denzel came to visit us in Brooklyn. And I made a big pot of black beans, and golly.
The rest is history.
So, but I didn't know that. I didn't know that.
Does he know
Anyway.
about this play coming out?
No, he doesn't know. He doesn't know.
He does now.
It's just a fun piece
Yes,
about
of course.
rumors
Yes,
and
yes.
how rumors spread and
Yes.
innuendo and all of that.
We can all learn from that.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed. Like I said, it just amazes me how you're able to sit down, write some paper on a piece, write some words on a piece of paper. There's a lot of power in being a
Yeah,
writer,
there
isn't
is.
there?
Well, I love to take on social justice issues mostly.
Okay.
HIV and AIDS with What Would Jesus Do? Unfortunately, that play was written in 2004, and the epidemic is still going on. People
Yes.
still aren't protecting themselves. I know we just had National Black HIV AIDS Awareness Day, and it's, with all the education that's happened in all these years, it's just mind-boggling how we're still not protecting ourselves as a community.
Yvette and I started the HIV STD Theater Initiative,
Okay.
whereby we invite producers, writers, directors, actors to write, read, or produce a play on sexual health at least once a year until this disease is eradicated.
I love writing about the White House. I wrote a play called White House Wives, Operation Lysistrata, and it's back during the Iraq, when the Congress was voting whether to go to war with Iraq. And so First Lady Laura Bush is trying to enlist the wives of the impending architects of the war in Iraq in a sex strike.
Gotcha.
And so she's got Lynn Cheney, Alma Powell.
I played Alma Powell.
Yvonne was Alma Powell. And I wrote another piece called Hillary and Monica, The Winter of Her Discontent. Before Hillary was even thinking about being president, or that the public knew, I used the springboard of the Monica Lewinsky scandal to talk about women in politics and her ambitions. And that's a fun piece. Bill Clinton has a cameo in that.
All right.
But all of my plays were presented at the National Black Theater Festival in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. And I'm so grateful to them for giving me a platform, a national platform on which to present my work.
Okay.
And I feel I owe a lot to the exposure that I got there.
Can you tell us more about this festival? A lot of people ain't never heard of it. And what does it mean?
The National Black Theater Festival is a biannual festival, and it's every other year. And theater companies from around the nation, and I think also internationally now too. They come together and show their works on the national stage, and we just take over Winston-Salem. You know, there's a play going here, a play going there, a play going there. At night, there's the Readers Theater Festival that was started by the late Garland Thompson. His son is now running it, and it's just a wonderful place where all Black folks come together and share our craft and our joy and our love. And we get a lot of Hollywood types.
Yeah. And also, I was able to show my film.
Yes.
And
They have a film festival.
yeah, they have a film. They started having a film festival, and my movie was born from a play.
Okay.
And so I was able to adapt from the stage to film.
Okay.
It's called I'd Rather Be Dancing.
Okay.
And it's showing now Aspire Network. So Magic Johnson's Aspire Network, but it did a full tour of the theater festival, of the film festivals.
Got you.
So it had a great little life, that short film. I've done several short subject films.
The talent you ladies
Yeah.
have. The Lord has been good to you ladies. Gave you some great talent. One other play that you did was Autobiography of a Homegirl.
Oh yeah, that was the first play Yvonne and I produced together as a team,
Okay.
along with her husband Larry Farrow, who did the music.
Okay.
And it was just a wonderful Cinderella story. Yvonne, you want to tell Yvonne?
Well,
Wait. I should first say that I, as an actor, I had written a piece for myself to perform as an actor. And then, so I was thinking I was going to be performing in it, but Yvonne had just moved here and she wanted to showcase herself in a piece. And she said, why don't you think about directing? And I'd never thought about that before. So I've been writing, directing ever since. So anyway, she can tell you.
Larry and I, my husband and I, both got NAACP nominations for that piece.
Yes.
Or was it for What Would Jesus Do?
You got that for What Would Jesus Do?
Okay, that was for What Would Jesus Do. But he's done all the Yvette has a lot of music in her show, so my husband, Larry Farrow, did the music. But, yeah, it was fun. I mean, she was a single mother. Her husband left her for a white girl, and at that time, which was 2006, well, it's 20 years now.
And Vanessa Williams had just won the Miss
Yeah.
America pageant, and that's why I wrote the piece.
Dealing with beauty in America.
Dealing with beauty, and
Yeah, it's a great show. It was a
Yes.
great show.
And this is a 20th anniversary, I think I'm told,
Yeah.
of that play.
Sounds great.
So,
There are two words I believe you've said it several times throughout the show so far. If we may, twin biz. Would you please show our viewers a picture of a short video, please?
I'm Yvette Heylinger. I am a writer and a director and a producing artist.
Hi, I'm Yvonne Farrow, and I'm a actress, producing artist.
Well, our parents always took us to the theater, to museums, to the ballet as we were growing up. But the experience that I remember the most is seeing Athol Fugard's play Master Harold and the Boys on Broadway with Zeke Mulcahy, I hope I'm saying that right, and Danny Glover. And I was so moved by the whole experience of the play that I sat in the Broadway theater for like 45 minutes crying after it was over. I couldn't leave my seat. And it's unusual because the Broadway ushers are always trying to get you the hell out of the theater. But they just let me sit there and cry. I just couldn't get over the experience of it. And that's when I knew that I wanted to do theater that would move people in the same way.
Well, we had gone to see a ballet, and Cinderella, and the prince jumped off the stage and ran through the house, and I think I was like 6 or 7. We were really young. And he came to me, and he took off my shoe, and he put the slipper on my foot. And there was this light on my face, and I just like, I just felt, I just felt the energy and the excitement, and just something just took over me, and I knew that I wanted that.
Up to you. Okay, look. Oh, yes, look at this. A set of twins. Oh, my goodness. They were beautiful then. They're even more beautiful now. Look at those ladies. Look at those ladies. Twin biz. That's how you get it. Who started the name?
I came up with the name Twins in the Business.
Okay.
And then Yvonne abbreviated that to Twin Biz.
Oh.
So that's how we became Twin Biz.
You've done movies, you've done screen, stage,
Yeah.
you've done everything. How can the public get involved in what you ladies are doing? Funding?
Funding. Well, right now we're not producing a play, but we have done Kickstarter. We've worked with Kickstarter on some of Yvette's plays. I just produced a reading of her show, White House Wives, Operation Lysistrata,
Okay.
at the Leimert Park Readers Theater
All right.
over at the Vision, where they
Okay.
have monthly readers theater series. And so, as I'm now working in city government, I work for Mayor Garcetti. I try to find a way to always keep my foot in the artistic door. As I'm helping now others in another way. But Yvette and I have always been about service. We've always been about helping others, and it's just now another extension of me, what I'm doing now. But she already spoke about what's coming up for her.
Would like to mention my book.
Please.
I've been working on a collection of my plays called What a Piece of Work is Man, full-length plays for leading women. And I'm sending in the final galley proof to the publisher.
How many plays are in the book?
There's about 6 or 7 plays in there. And I would love for the audience to look that up and follow that. What a Piece of Work is Man, full-length plays for leading women. And if you are a woman looking for a good meaty, solid roles, then that's the place to look.
Okay.
White women, black women, I mean, it's Latino. So I have a nice selection of my plays in there for the audience.
And I'm working on a book.
Okay.
It's called Got Choralography, The Marriage of Drama, Movement, and Concert Choral Music. I am a choreographer as well.
What is it? Would you please define that?
Well, I work with classically trained singers.
Okay.
And usually large choirs, and I pull them down off the risers. They have to be memorized. They can't hold them. And I create ballets on the stage. And so I've been doing that for many, many years. My mentor passed away a couple years ago. And it's making choral music more visual, more theatrical. So it's not like Glee. It's not like where you're mic'd and you're singing and you're dancing that hard.
Yes.
The art is in not being mic'd, that you don't sacrifice the choral sound. So I've worked with some fantastic choirs all across the country. I can go do residencies or just do one ballet or a full concert. I connect the choral work. So it's an exciting art form, and I'm happy to be at the forefront of that. You talked about Yvette and I belong to so many things. So I belong to a lot of musicians and choral unions as well. But I'm working on that book.
Ron, could I just share, too, that the last play of mine that was done at the National Black Theater Festival was called Bridge to Baraka.
Okay.
Yes.
And that was my journey as an artist through the Black Arts Movement and how the Black Arts Movement has inspired me and the message that women can take from the Black Arts Movement, particularly around entrepreneurship, getting out there, doing it yourself, not being afraid to take risks, publishing, producing, all those things. And so it's a play to really uplift and inspire artists, but particularly women. And that play is published on Indie Theater, indietheaternow.com. There are a lot of online publishing opportunities that people should know about. So it's not, it's not just about print, holding a physical book, but also about online publishing. So I've written for a lot of magazines, Howl Round and the Black Masks and different magazines. So I've diversified my talents from being an actor to doing all these different things.
Now, once this book that you're putting out is published, how can we get hold of it? Because there are a lot of schools that could use that, a lot of places it could go.
Well, Yvonne and I can we send out announcements through Constant Contact, so you could be part of our mailing list.
I would like that.
All right, Yvonne, if they should write to us at www.twinbiz.com, and then ask to be on our mailing list. There's a
info at Twinbiz.
Okay.
Info at
and one is LA and one is New York.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. All right.
But also, just to remind the audience that I'm going to be in the Reproductive Justice Festival, reading a little bit of my, performing my my piece, On the Brink of Middle Age. You want to hear a little bit of it?
Please, I'd love to. We got the time.
All right. I wrote this in 2008. So
Okay.
I'm 49 today, and I admit it. I'm slowly losing my friend. My grandmother, my great-grandmother, my mother all lost their friends. It's a process that can span over 13 years, the doctor said. I don't know how to respond, what to think of this impending loss, how to handle being perimenopausal. I see my daughters blossoming into womanhood. Big markers of time send me grieving for my youth. Markers of time like first steps, first words, first foods, first perms, periods, bras, mother-daughter talks, prom, high school and college graduations, boyfriends, girlfriends, and then boyfriends again, gynecological visits, and now what's left? First engagement, marriage, then grandchildren. Time is marching on. Thank God I am a woman of color. We hold up well. Comments from admirers bear this out. Girl, you don't look like you got a daughter in college. Or my favorite, you two could be sisters. These statements hold some comfort for me, sure, but the truth is I'm 49 and spreading and on the brink of what? Saying goodbye to my monthly friend and hello to having hot flashes, night sweats, and dizzy spells, adding invisible bifocals to my eyeglass prescription, dyeing persistent gray hairs black, getting 3 discrete tracts of hair sacrificed by a girl at a temple in India sewn into my scalp to make up for inevitable hair loss, propping up my sulking breasts in a wonder bra, covering the muffin top that hangs over my belted pants with a loose-fitting cotton shirt, or worse, stuffing myself into a girdle, hoping to recreate some semblance of a waistline no longer there, wearing sensible shoes with orthotics, resurrecting some childhood trauma that I'm told that I'm old enough now to handle emotionally, taking estrogen or calcium supplements, wondering at what point a lubricant will become necessary for sex. I'm on the brink of a new stage of life. Lucky me. I used to be cute. And I could go on.
Oh, that's marvelous. Marvelous. Oh, you have wit. You have, you write beautifully. Beautifully. You know, ladies, you're very, very special. And I thank you very much for taking the time to come here today. I can't think of any other group of black women, twins, who are as talented as you are and doing what you do.
Thank you.
Now, I just happen to have something here.
Oh, wait a minute. Do you have the clip for... Did you get it? No?
Okay. Now, this one is for Yvette. Would you pass
Oh,
that for Yvette,
thank
please?
you.
And this one is for
Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, ladies. Again, just a thought. Hey, it was a pleasure having you ladies here today. I know we got a few more minutes. I want to get that in soon. Thank you so much. Oh, thank you. It's like I said, we thank you all. I know there's a lot of support you get from your family and friends on what it is that you do. And do y'all bounce things off each other all the time?
Yeah.
Do you argue?
Yeah.
Fuss and fight? Yeah. Then you're twins.
Don't want to be in the middle of that fight.
Oh, yeah. Twins is a unique chemistry about them. Mm-hmm. Anytime you have more than one birth at a time. I mean, you came in the world together. Me and my brother, we stand and look at each other and said, when they have the expression, when someone walks up on you and they says, well, after you. I said, well, at the moment of birth, when I stood at the door, we both stood at the door, and he said to me, after you. No, after you. And it just kept on going. I said, later with you, I'm going outside to see what's happening out here.
You were born first?
I was born first.
I was supposed to have been born first.
What happened?
She kicked me and turned the birth order around. And we came out all black and blue. So, anyway, I guess she wanted to be born more.
I did.
Yeah.
But you know, the thing is that it hangs Yvette and I together is a common goal.
Yes, ma'am.
We care about the arts. We care about artists. Mm-hmm. We care about
our community.
Yes.
And finding ways to empower our community. I mean, Yvette and I have been politically active. We were both fellows of the Obama's campaign, on President Obama's re-election campaign, and then later local campaigns. But we want to be active, and we want to somehow inspire other artists to take hold and get involved in the political process, get involved in making a difference in their community in some kind of way.
I don't think artists, that they have a dog in this fight. Mm-hmm. They have a this fight, particularly around women's equal pay issues and raising the minimum wage and those kind of things. Because how many of us as artists have had to take waitress jobs,
Right.
or working at McDonald's, or being shoe salesmen? I mean, we have a dog's fight, and we have our children to raise and our families to take care of. And I would really love to see artists become more politically active. I'm with Organized Action, and after the President's re-election campaign, they morphed into a 501c4 organization, just working on the issues that Americans care about. So I've worked on women's issues, gun violence prevention. I've written plays about gun violence prevention, just all the issues that are front and center now. And I really wish more artists, because we could bring so much to the political conversation.
Yes, we could.
And we have voices, and we can speak and do things, and so I'm very sad that we're not more involved, and I wish that we were.
Yeah. So I really make it a point to, anytime I get anything that comes through the mayor's office that artists can attend, to send it out and invite them to come.
Yes.
Because it's time. We have to take our, there used to be a terrible thing they called actors' children, producers, parents.
Parents, yes.
And what is executive producers were the grandparents or something like that. I mean, we have to step out of that, especially as African American people, and take ownership of our lives, our craft, our communities, this nation. Because there's something that we can do. I remember Yvette said something about, she told President Obama that, oh, he found it?
Yeah, he found it.
Okay, oh, good, yeah. That she can't build bridges, but she can write plays.
All right.
Like I can't build a bridge, I can act in a play, I can produce a play, I can write a film.
Those are bridges.
Yes, exactly.
Yes. You got a video for us, sir?
Which video is this?
It's
The gods must have been plotting from above. The very day I was able to let go of the past and throw away my memories, they brought him back for one more dance.
Her life as a dancer doesn't have to end. She could teach.
What could she teach? From a wheelchair? Ballet for the disabled?
Yes, but she could also teach able-bodied dancers.
I had a vision. I want to dance again.
Dance took you away from me before. I don't want to lose you again.
I'm not going anywhere. As if I could. I need to do this. Spirit doesn't care I'm in a wheelchair, just wants to dance. I have got to learn to dance in the body I'm in. You never know why someone comes back into your life. Maybe it's to give you a message only they can deliver. I'm glad I had ears to hear.
Wow, that's beautiful. That's a message coming in there. Yvonne, we ain't got but a few more minutes. I got to ask both you ladies a question. How do you want to be remembered?
Before that, I want to thank my husband, Larry Farrow, for that
please.
beautiful score.
Thank you, Larry. Thank you, Larry. Larry sitting over there. Thanks, Larry.
How do I want to be remembered? I want to be remembered as someone who worked hard, someone who lived well, someone who cared about the community. A lot of people feel that, Yvonne's sensitive, and Yvette's sensitive, but you're sensitive because you care, you're empathetic, you care about people. And through my work as a choreographer, as an actor, as a producer, as a writer, I want to have something lasting. And that's what you can put on film, what you can write in a book or write in a play or a screenplay. That's what's lasting. And I think that's the most, I don't know, just that I cared and loved, and I care about our people. I care about theater and our community, and that's it, I guess.
Yvette?
I guess I want to be remembered as an artist who tried to make a difference for her community. And I know that doesn't sound very sexy and glamorous. I'm not sitting here saying, I want to be on Broadway. That would be nice. But I'm more concerned about making a difference through my craft. And I feel that God has given me a talent and an ability which to speak for my people. And not just black people, but for all people. And the other thing would be, as an artist, I'm really looking at publishing now as a way to say, look, I was here.
Yes.
My grandson can hold my book. Yeah. My daughters can hold my book. I was here. I had something to say to the world. And, and I've had I lived in very interesting times. The first African-American president, and how much that means to me. He's my Kennedy. I tease my husband. He's the other man in our marriage, President Obama. But all the volunteering that I do around gun violence and women's issues and et cetera, just trying to fulfill the promise of enlightening and helping the community to fight for the things that they care about, and to become politically active. I'm a co-chair of the Arts and Culture Committee for Reverend Al Sharpton's National Action Network. And so that's social justice and theater. And that's a nice match for me. So, and now that I'm teaching, I hope to impact children and maybe, get them more in touch with their humanity after all this desensitizing that's happened with TV and violence and all of that, and just get them, in touch with their own humanity through the arts.
I just thought of the 3 words: civics, clergy, and community.
Okay.
And that defines me. I know we didn't get to talk about my ministerial work, but yeah.
I wish we had more time. This has been a great day for me. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ron.
Yvonne, thank you so much. Wow, I've learned a lot out of this. Hey, I hope that you learned something too, and I hope that you've enjoyed our 2 guests today. That's Yvonne Farrow and Yvette Heylinger. And thank you so much for staying with us, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.